My name is George Perry. I am the president of the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame. Never leave a meeting room while the meeting's going on, because things happen to you, like becoming president of a group or things along those lines. But we're extremely excited about today to our three honorable inductees into the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame. There are a number of Hall of Fame people that are in the room right now. If you would please stand. Those who are in the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame, please. There we go. Yeah, I'll take a little. The program for today is we're going to introduce each of the Hall of Fames. There will be an individual that is going to be introducing each new member of the Hall of Fame. Steve has a nice video he'll be showing right before that. The pictures were supplied by either friends, family, or the individual, so do not blame Steve or myself for any of the pictures that are there. Hopefully there's none of your bear behind or anything like that, Hansi, because that's just too much.
Who selected the music?
Well, and then the music selection was definitely by the individual who's going into the Hall of Fame. So we'll know from there. There might be a moment that we might need to clear a little bit more room, because sometimes when the polka music comes on, Hansi just goes crazy, and we want to be careful of that. That's for all the times you beat me up at Canterbury in the indoor games, Hansi. That's all I can say, and we go from there. So without further ado, we are doing things alphabetical, just so you know that I did at least get through 8th grade, and so we will. We started with Dan Cruz. Will be coming up to give a few words on Hans for us and introduce Hans to the group. So thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
The Fort Wayne Sport Club was founded in March of 1927 by German immigrants playing in the industrial leagues. We are the oldest, one of the oldest, if not the oldest club in the state. Most of the clubs are gone now, and we almost didn't make it. In 1943, the club was exploring the possibility of plowing under the east half of what is now known as Field 1 to grow potatoes, and taking the west half of the field to put a volleyball court in. Then in 1948 and 1949, the club held discussions about abandoning soccer because of a lack of soccer players and forming a bowling team. In 1951, the first group of European immigrants arrived and the soccer program was restarted. The Diettrichs arrived in 1957, coming through Ellis Island. Their father made each of the boys wear one of his prized hats so that they didn't get crushed. They moved to Paulding, Ohio, but work was hard to find, and Hans found work as a tailor in Fort Wayne, where he worked with other German immigrants, including members of the Fort Wayne Sport Club. He spoke limited English, but no one at the club spoke much English, and he spent most of his time at the club playing soccer with his new extended family. When he joined the club, a friend loaned him $5 and then asked for $3 back for membership dues. Hans did not play organized soccer until he arrived in the United States. The village in Germany where they lived after World War II had 2 soccer balls. One was owned by the school and the other one was owned by a rich kid. When they didn't have a ball, they kicked cans in the alley, and his first pair of soccer shoes were a pair of dress shoes that he knocked the heels off of. He and his brothers would get into trouble for playing soccer in their good clothes and shoes after church on Sunday. After joining the club in 1957, he played on the team that won the Ohio-Indiana League Championship. In 1961, he was drafted into the Army and was stationed in Augsburg, Germany with the 24th Division, where he was assigned to the International Military Sports Council. The Sports Council brought together players from several divisions, and around 60 servicemen trained. 18 men, including Hans, were rostered, and for the next 2 years, Hans lived in the gym and trained playing soccer. Soccer was his job in the Army. They competed against other military teams in an Olympic-style tournament with other countries divided into group play. Egypt, Greece, and Austria were in the U.S. group. When he returned in 1963. He played on the 1963, 1966, and 1967 undefeated championship teams in the Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky League. Hans is also one of 10 sport club coaches that held clinics teaching young players in the Catholic Youth Organization techniques, principles, and strategies of the game. In 1967, the club members built our second and current clubhouse, and Hans was a part of that project. Hans has always been active and volunteering in Germanfest, our largest fundraiser. In 1996, plans were made to add a fourth German club to the annual festival, but prior to that, the Germanfest committee decided to distribute the funds. Because of our tax status, the funds were restricted to promoting social welfare in the community. The sport club chose to donate their portion to establish the Fort Wayne Sport Club Youth Soccer as a 501c3, and Hans was part of that effort to create the youth soccer program. In addition to playing soccer, Hans has refereed soccer for more than 20 years. At 85, he continues to play and volunteer his time on various projects at the club. He is a valuable member of the club and a close friend to all of us. We are very proud of his latest accomplishment as a member of the Hall of Fame. Hans? Congratulations, Hans.
Good evening. I found my passion for soccer when I was 8 years old in Germany. In 1957, we moved to America with my parents and two brothers. Not speaking English, not having a job. I found one in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I met lots of German-speaking people. They introduced me to the Fort Wayne Sport Club. I have been privileged to be part of soccer there for the last 66 years. I would like to highlight a few moments of achievement. I was inducted in the US Army in '61, basic training, Fort Knox, Kentucky, advanced training in Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. After training, my entire company was shipped to Germany, and I was lucky enough to be in the 24th Division, who had the only remaining soccer team left out of the 7 divisions stationed in Germany. In 1963, the US Armed Forces joined the Council of International du Sport Militaire, abbreviated CISIM. CISIM was constructed just like the Olympics and like the Fort Wayne, just like the Olympics, but only for military personnel. This meant the 24th Division team was invited to try out. My goal was to make the starting team. The tryouts included 50 or more other individuals besides our 24th Division team. And we got a coach from England to prepare for the CISIM team. And he told us right from the beginning, he's going to construct a team around the 24th Division team, but nobody from the team, from anybody, has a solid place yet. It has to be earned. So I worked especially hard since we found out he could keep only 25 players for the team. Originally, probably we had 60, 70. So I tried my hardest to make the 25 so I don't have to go back to the company. Then we found out later only 18 can travel to Greece or Egypt or Austria. So naturally, I tried for the 18 to see the world. And I made the 18 also. And I made also the first starting team. Naturally, we lost all the games in Greece and in Egypt and in Austria. And then the return games were played in Germany. We played Greece in Munich. We played Egypt in Stuttgart. And we played Austria in Augsburg. A highlight from this time was that I got to play in the game preceding the European Cup game between Austria Wien and Stade Reims. That's the European Cup. There were many stars on there, like Kopa, Seemann, Happel, and we played the preceding game. The sport of soccer has grown through the years leaps and bounds. I have had the privilege to be part of the growth of soccer for the Fort Wayne Sport Club and Indiana. We had thousands and thousands of kids coming through the last 65 years. Aside from that, seeing love others have for soccer, I have made my friends Dan Kruse, the current president of Fort Wayne Sport Club, Kevin Warren, the head trustee, Todd Kilburn, the youth program, and Dave Bennett, just to mention a few. He's the first coach for the Fort Wayne Sport Club for many, many years. So it's Dan Kruse. You have 20 years as president, I believe. In closing, I want to thank Steve Franklin, George Perry, and all the members from the Indiana Hall of Fame, Soccer Hall of Fame. I also want to thank President of the Fort Wayne Sport Club, Dan Kruse, Kevin Warren, Craig Mauch, the membership youth group, my family and friends, and all the guys who recommended me. The future of soccer never looked brighter than it does right now. Soccer opened many doors for me, and it can do the same for you. I also have a special guy here, my grandson. Isaiah. He started playing soccer when he's 3 years old, 3.5 years old, at the Fort Wayne Sport Club. Right now he plays in San Antonio for San Antonio United. And he promised me that he's going to try very hard to be on the US national team one of these days.
Is that good?
Good.
And by the way, I just want to make sure. By the way, if you ever are up in Fort Wayne when soccer games are happening, usually by the stadium field with the fence around it is where you'll find Hans leaning up against the fence, of course with a beer in hand, watching the kids play soccer. So that's the guy that you'll find, and we'll go from there. So with that, Cherie, would you please come up? And Cherie's going to pin the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame pin. Watch your feet there. There's that, and I've got the back piece. So
And I wasn't part of his speech last night, but I wanted to mention one more thing. He was invited to try out for the Olympics in 1968. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And he did not because I was on the way. So he took his family responsibility first.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, I think I got it. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks. Very good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep.
My name is Hans Diettrich, and I received the Hall of Fame Soccer Award for Indiana. This award means the accumulation of all the sweat and all the work I put into soccer. Soccer is in my blood. I was in my blood and it still is. Thank you.